They say life can change in a single moment. For Madison Chen, that moment happened between the 14th and 7th floors of a Chicago hotel, trapped in a steel box with a complete stranger, 48 hours, before nationals carrying a secret that could destroy her team and the girl she'd betrayed to get there. It was a Friday morning in March, the kind of morning where the air crackled with anticipation, where every cheerleader in America descended on one city with the same desperate dream: a national championship. Madison stood in the lobby of the Grand Lakeside Hotel, adjusting her Summit Elite All-Stars warm-up jacket one last time. Captain. At 19, she'd fought, clawed, and sacrificed everything to wear that title across her back. Her phone buzzed. A text from her boyfriend, Tyler. "You got this, Cap. Bring home that ring." She smiled mechanically, the way she'd learned to smile at everything lately. Perfect teeth, empty eyes, championship ready. The elevator doors opened with a gentle chime. Inside stood a woman in her mid-50s wearing a hotel staff uniform, her graying hair pulled back in a neat bun. Her name tag read, Patricia. But it was her eyes that caught Madison's attention. They held a knowing sadness, the kind that comes from watching dreams break over and over again. "Going up?" Patricia asked warmly. Madison nodded, stepping inside without really seeing her. Her eyes were locked on her phone, scrolling through the routine video for the 1,000th time, analyzing every stunt, every tumbling pass. The doors closed. The elevator hummed upward. 14th floor, 13th, 12th. Then everything stopped. The lights flickered violently, and the elevator dropped 6 inches before catching with a metallic shriek. Madison slammed against the wall, her phone clattering to the floor. The championship bow in her hair came loose, sliding down across her face. "What's happening?" Her voice was sharp, controlled, but Patricia could hear the panic underneath. "Power outage in this section," Patricia said calmly, already reaching for the emergency phone. She lifted it, listened, then gently replaced it. "Lines are down. They know we're here. They'll get us out." Madison's breath quickened. She jabbed at the emergency button repeatedly. Nothing. She grabbed her phone. No signal. 14 floors up in a steel cage, 48 hours before the most important performance of her life. "We need to get out. Now. My team has a mandatory meeting in 20 minutes. I'm the captain. If I'm not there—" "They'll manage," Patricia said softly, settling against the wall with the ease of someone who'd learned patience the hard way. "I've worked in hotels at cheer competitions for 15 years. Trust me, 20 minutes won't make or break a team. But secrets? Those will tear a squad apart from the inside." Madison froze. "What are you talking about?" Patricia's eyes met hers, and there was something unnervingly perceptive in that gaze. "You're carrying something heavy, sweetheart. I've seen enough cheerleaders come through these doors to recognize the weight. The question is, how long are you going to carry it before it crushes you?" Madison slid down the wall, her perfect posture crumbling. Her hands were shaking. When had they started shaking? She pressed them against her face, and that's when something inside her fractured. "I stole her spot," Madison whispered. "Kayla Rodriguez. She was supposed to be captain. She was better than me. Cleaner tumbling, stronger stunts, natural leadership. Everyone knew it. The coaches knew it. I knew it." Patricia didn't respond immediately. She just waited, the way good listeners do. "Last summer, we both went to the elite training camp in California. 3 weeks of hell competing for that captain spot. On the final day, we had individual evaluations. Kayla went first. She was perfect. Flawless standing full, her basket toss touched the ceiling. Her speech about team unity made the coaches cry. I watched through the window and I knew I'd lost." "What did you do?" Patricia's voice held no judgment, only curiosity. Her phone, Madison's voice cracked. "She left it in the locker room. I saw it light up with a text from her mom about her little brother's emergency surgery scheduled for next month, and The words stuck in her throat like broken glass. I took a screenshot. I sent it to myself, and then I anonymously forwarded it to the gym owner with a fake message making it look like Kayla was planning to quit mid-season for family reasons. The elevator groaned and both of them tensed, but it held steady, suspended between floors, suspended between past and present. The coaches called an emergency meeting, told Kayla they were concerned about her commitment level given her family situation. She tried to explain, tried to tell them she'd never quit, that her family supported her completely. But the seed was planted. The doubt was there. Patricia's expression remained neutral, but her hands gripped each other tightly. And they gave you captain instead. 2 days later, Madison confirmed, tears streaming down her face, ruining the makeup she'd spent 40 minutes perfecting. Kayla was demoted to co-captain. I got the spot. I got the solo in the routine. I got everything she'd worked her entire life for, and I took it with a smile on my face and congratulations on my lips. If you're feeling the weight of what Madison just confessed, hit that subscribe button right now, because this story is about to take you on a journey you'll never forget. Where is Kayla now? Patricia asked quietly. Here, Madison whispered. She's here, at this competition, on my team, smiling beside me in formation, hitting every stunt, supporting every decision, being the bigger person while I live her stolen dream. Her voice broke completely. And tomorrow, we perform for a national title, together, like nothing ever happened, like I didn't destroy her. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. Then she reached into her pocket and pulled out a worn photograph. A young girl in a cheerleading uniform, mid-basket toss, face radiating pure joy. The girl looked like a younger version of Patricia, before life had added lines around her eyes. My daughter, Emma, all-American cheerleader, full scholarship to Kentucky. She had the world at her fingertips. Patricia's thumb brushed the photo gently. Her best friend sabotaged her senior year, spread rumors that Emma was using performance enhancers, completely false. But the accusation alone was enough. Lost her scholarship, lost her spot on world's teams, lost everything. Madison felt like she couldn't breathe. What? What happened to her? She quit cheerleading completely, spent 2 years in therapy, dealing with betrayal from someone she'd trusted since they were 8 years old. The depression almost took her from us. I'm so sorry, Madison whispered, but the words felt pathetically inadequate. The friend? Patricia continued, her voice harder now. She went on to have a successful college cheer career, won championships, got the Instagram followers, the sponsorships, the glory. But you know what Emma told me last year when she was finally healing? Madison shook her head, terrified of the answer. She said, Mom, I'm actually glad it happened, because I'd rather be the person who was betrayed than the person who betrays. At least I can still look at myself in the mirror. The words hit Madison like a physical blow, because that was exactly it. That was the weight she'd been carrying for 8 months. Every time she looked in the mirror, every time she led the team in chants, every time she stood on that blue mat as captain, she saw someone she didn't recognize, someone she didn't respect, someone who'd sold her soul for a title and a spot on a mat. Does she still cheer? Madison asked, desperate for any sign of redemption, any proof that broken things could be fixed. Patricia smiled, but it was bittersweet. No, she's a pediatric nurse now. Says healing people is better than winning trophies. She's happy, Madison, genuinely happy, but she'll never get those years back. She'll never know what she could have been. The elevator shuddered, a deep metallic groan that made them both freeze. For a moment, Madison thought this was it. They were about to fall, and maybe that was the universe's justice. But the elevator held, waiting, watching. Kayla doesn't know, Madison said suddenly. She has no idea what I did. She thinks the coaches just chose me. She's never said a cruel word to me. never treated me with anything but respect and support, which somehow makes it so much worse. Because it means she's a better person than you, Patricia said bluntly. And you know it. Every single day you know it. Madison nodded, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. So here's my question. Patricia leaned forward, her eyes intense. Tomorrow when you step on that mat at Nationals, when you hit that routine and the crowd goes wild when they potentially hand you a championship ring and a banner and all the glory you stole, will it feel like winning? Or will it feel like exactly what it is, a lie wrapped in glitter and hairspray? 37 minutes. That's how long Madison and Patricia sat in that suspended elevator while the cheerleading world continued without them. 37 minutes that felt like a confession, a trial, and a reckoning all at once. Madison had stopped crying. Her face was blotchy, her makeup destroyed, her perfect captain image shattered, and somehow that felt more honest than anything she'd presented to the world in months. "Tell me about before," Patricia said gently. "Before you did this, who were you?" Madison's laugh was bitter. "Someone who actually loved cheerleading. I started when I was 5. It wasn't about winning back then. It was about flying. You know that feeling when you're at the top of a stunt, when you're completely airborne in a basket toss, when gravity stops existing for just a second?" "I remember," Patricia said. "I was a cheerleader too, a lifetime ago." "It was magic," Madison continued, her voice softening with memory. "Pure magic. My team was my family. We celebrated each other's wins. We cried at each other's failures. There was no jealousy, no sabotage, just love for the sport and each other." What changed? High school, elite gyms, social media. Suddenly it wasn't enough to just be good. You had to be the best. You had to have the most followers, the most impressive skills, the most prestigious titles. Cheerleading became a currency, and She paused, the truth heavy on her tongue. "I became desperate to be rich in it." Patricia nodded knowingly. "I've watched it happen for 15 years. Sweet kids come to their first competition, eyes shining, just happy to be there. By their senior year, they're cutthroat, starving themselves to hit weight requirements, cheering through injuries that should sideline them, destroying friendships for a piece of metal and a moment of recognition." Is that what happened to your daughter? Did the sport change her too? "No," Patricia said firmly. "Emma stayed true. That's why the betrayal hurt so much. She never played the games, never compromised her integrity. She just loved cheerleading purely the way you described, and someone who'd lost that purity took everything from her because of it." Madison felt sick. "I'm that someone. In my story, I'm the villain who destroyed the pure one." "Yes," Patricia agreed, offering no comfort, no softening of the truth. "You are. The question is, what are you going to do about it?" The emergency lights flickered, casting strange shadows across Patricia's face. In the amber glow, she looked almost otherworldly, part confessor, part judge, part guide. "I don't know," Madison admitted. "Tomorrow is Nationals. Our routine is built around me. I have the center tumbling pass, the main stunts, the captain's speech if we win. If I confess now, if I tell Kayla the truth, it destroys everything. The team's worked for 2 years for this moment. 8 girls who did nothing wrong, who have no idea what I did. How can I take their dream away?" "But it's not really their dream you'd be taking away, is it?" Patricia challenged. "It's yours. You're afraid of losing your spot, your title, your moment of glory. You're hiding behind the team to justify your silence." The words struck like a slap, sharp and true. Madison wanted to argue, to defend herself, but she couldn't. Patricia was right. "What would you do?" Madison's voice was small, scared. "If you were me, what would you do?" Patricia was quiet for a long moment, her fingers tracing the edges of Emma's photograph. "I'd think about the last time I felt truly proud of myself. Not accomplished, not successful, but proud. That bone-deep feeling that who you are matches who you want to be. Madison closed her eyes, searching her memory. When was the last time? Before captain? Before elite teams? She traveled back. And there it was, a memory she'd almost forgotten. I was 14, she said slowly. Junior Worlds in Orlando. My teammate Becca fell during warm-ups, twisted her ankle badly. She was crying, terrified she'd let us down. We had 30 minutes before we competed. The coaches wanted to pull her, put in an alternate, but Becca begged for a chance. So Madison smiled at the memory, genuine warmth flooding her face. I spent 25 minutes with her, walking through the routine in an empty hallway. Not the full-out version, just the mental one. Visualization, breathing, building her confidence back up. She hit every stunt in the actual routine. We won. And after, she hugged me and said I'd saved her life. Not the routine, her life. Because I'd believed in her when she couldn't believe in herself. How did that feel? Patricia asked. Like I mattered for the right reasons, Madison whispered. Like cheerleading was about lifting people up, literally and figuratively. Like I was using my strength to help someone fly, not to knock them down so I could fly higher. That, Patricia said firmly, is who you really are, Madison. Not captain, not champion, not the girl who sabotaged her teammate. You're the girl who helps people fly. You've just forgotten. The elevator groaned again, and this time it moved. Not falling, but rising. Slowly, mechanically, they were being pulled upward, back to the 14th floor, back to the team, back to reality. Madison stood up, her legs shaky. She looked at her reflection in the polished elevator wall. Ruined makeup, loose hair, red eyes. She looked broken. She looked real. When these doors open, Patricia said, standing beside her, your team is going to be there. Worried, maybe angry that you missed the meeting. Kayla will be there too. What are you going to do? Madison took the deepest breath of her life. I'm going to tell the truth. All of it? All of it? Even if it costs you everything? Madison met Patricia's eyes, and for the first time in 8 months, she felt something shift inside her chest. Not hope exactly. Something smaller but more solid. Integrity. Especially if it costs me everything. The elevator reached the 14th floor. Through the crack in the doors, Madison could hear voices, her teammates, her coaches. The mechanical crew worked quickly, prying the doors open, and suddenly there they were. Her entire team, all 7 other girls in their Summit Elite warm-ups, faces ranging from worried to annoyed to relieved. Coach Sandra, arms crossed, looking both concerned and impatient. And standing at the front, exactly where a co-captain should be, was Kayla Rodriguez. Beautiful, talented, kind Kayla. With her perfect high ponytail and her genuine smile and her complete lack of knowledge that the girl she called captain had destroyed her dream. Maddie! Kayla rushed forward, grabbing her in a hug. Oh my God, we were so worried. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? The concern was real. The care was genuine. And it made what Madison had to do infinitely harder and infinitely more necessary. Team meeting, Madison said, her voice steady despite the earthquake happening inside her chest. Right now, in our conference room, all of us, coaches included, there's something I need to tell you all. Coach Sandra frowned. Madison, we already missed 1 meeting because of this elevator situation. We have scheduled practice time in 2 hours. Whatever this is, it can't wait, Madison interrupted, and something in her tone must have conveyed the gravity because Coach Sandra's expression shifted from annoyed to alert. All right, the coach said slowly. Conference room, 5 minutes. Everyone. The team filed toward the conference room, confused whispers passing between them. Kayla walked beside Madison, and their arms brushed. The casual contact of teammates who'd spent hundreds of hours together in pyramids and baskets and trust falls. Trust. The word felt like broken glass in Madison's mind. Patricia caught her eye as the team moved past. The older woman gave her the smallest nod. Just a tiny movement, but it carried everything they'd shared in that elevator. It carried Emma's story. It carried the weight of choices and consequences. It carried permission to fall so that she could maybe, someday, learn to fly again for the right reasons. Madison nodded back. Then she followed her team into the conference room, where she would either destroy everything she'd built or finally start building something real. The conference room felt smaller than it should. 12 chairs around a table, now occupied by 8 teenage girls in matching warm-ups, and 2 coaches who had dedicated years to building this team. Madison stood at the head of the table, captain position, but in about 3 minutes that title would be stripped away, along with everything else. "Madi, what's going on?" Sophia asked nervously. "You're scaring us." Madison forced herself to look directly at Kayla. "Last summer at California training camp, I sabotaged you to steal the captain position that should have been yours." The room went silent. Not comfortable silence, but the suffocating silence of a bomb detonated. "What?" Kayla's voice was barely a whisper. "You were better than me. Everyone knew it, but I couldn't accept that. So I took a screenshot of a private text from your mom about your brother's surgery. I sent it anonymously to the coaches, making it look like you were planning to quit. I planted doubt about your commitment, and they gave me captain instead." Kayla stood so fast her chair tipped backward. Her face went white, then flushed red. "You did what?" "I destroyed you to elevate myself," Madison said, tears streaming down her face. "I betrayed you. I lied. I stole your dream, and I've been living that lie for 8 months. Coach Sandra's hand flew to her mouth. "Madison, are you telling us—" "Yes," Madison cut her off. "I'm a liar and a cheat. Everything you've built this season has been built on my fraud." Kayla took 3 steps backward, shaking her head. 8 months. For 8 months, I blame myself. I worked twice as hard to prove myself. I supported you. I called you my best friend." "I know," Madison whispered. "And I'm so sorry." "Why now?" Kayla demanded, voice rising. "Why 48 hours before nationals? Why not 8 months ago?" "Because I was a coward," Madison said simply. "It took getting trapped in an elevator with a stranger who helped me see what I'd become to find the courage to tell the truth. If you're watching this and your heart is racing, hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens next? You need to see this." Coach Sandra stood, her face showing fury and disappointment. "Madison, we have nationals in 48 hours. We have a routine built around you." "I know what I'm costing us," Madison said, "but I can't perform as captain anymore. That position was never mine to hold." "Give it to Kayla," Madison said firmly. "Everything. My tumbling pass, my spots, my stunts. She can hit it all. She always could." Everyone turned to Kayla, who stood against the wall, arms wrapped around herself, tears streaming down her face. "I don't want it," Kayla said, voice hollow. "Not like this. Not as consolation prize." "It's not consolation," Madison said desperately. "It's justice." "Justice?" Kayla laughed bitterly. "Justice would be you never having done this. You don't get to give me back what you stole and call it justice." The room erupted. Everyone started talking at once. Brittany was crying. Sophia was yelling about betrayal. The coaches tried to restore order. "Enough!" Coach Sandra's voice cut through the chaos. She turned to Kayla. "You have every right to be devastated. Take today. Tomorrow we'll run modified practice without Madison. Tomorrow night, you tell me if you're competing. That's your choice." Kayla nodded, grabbed her bag, and walked out without another word. Half the team followed her. "Am I kicked off the team?" Madison asked quietly. "You're suspended," Coach Sandra said. "Tomorrow at Nationals, you're not on the mat." Madison pulled out her phone and opened Instagram. 42,000 followers built on stolen glory. She started typing. A post, a confession, every detail of what she'd done laid bare for the entire cheerleading world to see. "What are you doing?" Sophia asked, alarmed. Making sure everyone knows, Madison said, and hit post. Kayla deserves for everyone to know the truth. Within seconds, comments flooded in. Her follower count started dropping in real time. Her cheerleading career, as she'd known it, was effectively over. She left and found Patricia in the lobby. Their eyes met. You did it, Patricia said simply. I lost everything. No, Patricia corrected gently. You lost all the wrong things. Now you have a chance to build the right things back. Patricia handed her a business card. This is Emma's number. She runs a support group for cheerleaders dealing with betrayal and sports trauma. Whether Kayla wants it or you want it, it's there. Madison took the card, hands trembling. Thank you for being in that elevator, for helping me find my way back. The next evening, Madison sat in a coffee shop 3 blocks from Nationals. She'd been asked not to attend. Her phone buzzed. A text from Sophia. We took 4th. Kayla was incredible. She dedicated the performance to everyone who's ever had their dreams stolen and found the courage to build new ones. She's healing. Madison read it 3 times, tears falling. 4th place. Not a championship, but honest. Built on real merit and integrity. She pulled out a notebook and wrote, Ways to make amends. Step 1. Be better every single day. Maybe Kayla would never speak to her again. Maybe Madison's cheer career was over. But today, she made herself a promise. She would spend the rest of her life being the person who helped others fly, not the person who clipped their wings. The fall had been devastating. But the rise? The rise was going to be built on truth. One honest day at a time. Before you leave, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. And second, drop a comment. Have you ever been Madison? Have you ever been Kayla? Share your story. Let's build a community of cheerleaders who understand that real strength isn't just physical, it's moral. 6 months later, Madison received an email from Kayla. I'm not ready to forgive you. I might never be. But I saw your Instagram, the volunteering at youth cheer clinics, the posts about integrity. That matters. Maybe someday we'll talk. Maybe not. But I wanted you to know, I'm okay. I'm finally flying on my own terms. K. Madison saved it, then headed to the youth gym where she now coached beginners. 7-year-olds who still thought cheerleading was magic. She would teach them that real flying happens when you lift each other up, not when you knock each other down. They say life can change in a single moment. For Madison Chen, it changed in an elevator. She lost everything she thought mattered and found the only thing that actually did: herself. Until next time, remember, the greatest heights are reached when we build pyramids together, not when we climb over each other. Stay strong, stay honest, and always remember why you started flying in the first place.